goodness. Oh, my goodness. Hello. And I completed my degree here in creative writing in 1993, and I hope the following words reflect that education. I am honored to be here. Thank you for listening. Let me begin by talking about the elephant in the room at a liberal arts graduation ceremony, and that is money. As a Minnesotan, I am ashamed to admit that I love money. I love a fair exchange of goods and services. I love to buy things. I love to get paid. And also, perhaps unlike most people of Norwegian heritage, I love full disclosure. I love open book accounting. And what better way to combine these passions than by telling you the story of how I got paid to be speaking to you today. Let us begin at the beginning. I will read a section of the email sent to me by the university inviting me here. I'm paraphrasing for time. There are a lot more outrageous compliments. Quote, "We feel that as a graduate of the University of Minnesota, Maria is the perfect person to speak at the commencement. Clearly, her path has taken her on to great success." And this is my emphasis. Normally, the college does not pay for commencement speakers. As you can imagine, being a state-funded institution, we have to be careful regarding the use of our resources. Well, I thought to myself, but I am a self-funded institution. Who needs to be careful regarding the use of my resources? Was my alma mater lowballing me? I'm not a sitting governor, and the football coach isn't living check to check. My husband and I, we have 2 elderly, overweight dogs who need eye medication 3 times a day. Was the University of Minnesota College of Liberal Arts suggesting that I couldn't get paid for the exact job that they paid me, that I paid them how to, oh gosh, was the University of Minnesota suggesting that I couldn't get paid for the exact job that I paid them to teach me how to get paid to do? That's what I meant. Well, of course not. This was just Goldie Gopher giving me a final exam, and this is a very important one, a postgraduate course in the art of salary negotiation. I hope I passed. I went to my business advisor, Mr. Elliot Kashin. He is an Armenian-American businessman living in West Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He's an aluminum siding salesman and a 79-year-old father of my dear friend, Jackie. I told him my story. He said, one of the best pieces of advice I've ever gotten, which is, and you need to know this if you're going to be a liberal arts major, never say no without a number. I went back to the U. I counteroffered with 20 grand. The university went dark. 2 weeks to response, nice waiting game. And came back with 10 grand. Elliot Kashin wanted me to split the difference at 15,000, but I'm still from Duluth and filled with shame. And so I stand before you for the amount of $10,000. Now, after taxes and commissions, that's $5,000. It's the difference between gross and net. Also important to know, gross is the disgusting amount of money that you will never receive. Net is the little bag that you get to take home in your sweet little roll. I am going to get paid in cash with a gun on the table afterwards. Now, at this point, you may say to yourself, God, her voice is irritating. And how can I avoid becoming this crass, money-grubbing comedian from Duluth with a visible tremor after being on several psychiatric medications? Well, here is a list of very specific don'ts. Oh, and I just want to let you know, my salary for today will affect you directly later on in the speech. These are things, if you don't want to become what you see before you, don't do these things. Don't screw it up. Don't mess it up. Don't waste 1 minute. Don't, with your bachelor's from a fine college, work only in pizza for 5 years. Don't busk for change on the streets of downtown Los Angeles playing a musical instrument poorly. Don't send your first tax return to the IRS with scrawling letters, sorry, exclamation point, smiley face, don't get it. Don't do a touring Star Trek show of the southern states of this great nation, where you have to say things like, greetings, I'm Major Lelanka of the planet Bajor. Get the F away from me, all right? Don't date a Vulcan on said Star Trek show and get an STD. One of the most popular STDs you can get, actually. I assume 50% of you have it. Afterwards, don't go to Planned Parenthood with that STD in Hollywood, and where the doctor says, how did you let it get so bad? You go to the Planned Parenthood in Hollywood, California, and the doctor says, how did you let it get so bad? All right. Don't join 5 different 12-step support groups, none of which are AA, so people have to guess, hey, what is there besides AA? Don't move to Adelaide, Australia for a year in hopes of marrying a clown who is also bisexual and a meth addict. By the way, these are all things I have done, if I haven't made that clear. Don't do your own bookkeeping in Quicken and QuickBooks and get audited by the IRS 5 times. Turns out they owed me 25 bucks. Kablam! I may be eccentric, but I saved my receipts in a bucket. Don't move into a cockroach-infested apartment where the landlord accepts sex for rent and then not have the money for rent. Wink. No, I was fine. I moved onto a friend's couch. Don't get fired by Warner Brothers, Nickelodeon, Super Crown Bookstore, Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle, the Tempe, Arizona Improv, a writing job for Martin Short, the TV show Hot in Cleveland with Betty White, and more to come. Don't leave jobs suddenly in tears. Harrah's Improv in Las Vegas, an hour before showtime in Chicago, or a TV commercial shoot for Target because you are overwhelmed and unable to talk. And this is actually pretty difficult, at least it was for me. Don't try to kill yourself, either actively or passively. Do stay alive, even for spite. If anyone is thinking of suicide, don't do it. It's not the season for it. Late fall. I'm just telling you the statistics. All right. In other words, don't F it up. Or, if you're like me, do. And keep trying. The cracks are where the light gets in. that which has been our greatest sorrow has been our deepest delight, or the historic chant from the movie Meatballs in 1980 starring Bill Murray, it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Now, back to money. Does anybody here have a debt to Sally Mae? Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. To receive an invoice is to know that you're alive. And is anybody in the theater arts program that has a debt to Sally Mae? You? Front row? Here, madam, how about you come up? Young lady. Good hustle. Thank you so much. Come on up here if you can. Do you know, by the way, how much you are in debt for student loans? Not clear? Good to know. My husband had debt for $17,000 in 1992, and now we just paid it off for $53,000 this past year. So what I'm giving to you is a check for $5,000 written to Sally Mae. It's on, has the address. Now, I could have given you more, madam. And what is your name? I'm so sorry. Elise. I could have given you more, but I did not negotiate for myself a higher salary. Good to know. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Have a great day.